We are often taught to respect nature, to marvel at its power and beauty, but we rarely consider the secrets it keeps, hidden in plain sight. In our shared imagination, a lake is a place of serenity and life, a source of water and calm. But what happens when that tranquility is a lie? What happens when a seemingly harmless body of water holds a secret so volatile, a force so potent, that it can turn into a silent, invisible killer without a moment's warning? This is not a legend or a myth. This is the true and terrifying story of Lake Nyos in Cameroon, a place of stunning beauty that in one horrifying night became the epicenter of a natural catastrophe so bizarre and deadly that it claimed the lives of 1,746 people, leaving behind a landscape of unimaginable silence and a mystery that would take the world's greatest minds to unravel. It is a chilling reminder that some of nature's greatest dangers are not explosive volcanoes or churning tornadoes, but unseen forces lying dormant, waiting for their time to strike. Lake Nyos is a deep, ancient crater lake nestled within the verdant, rolling hills of the northwest region of Cameroon, a landscape carved by volcanic forces over countless millennia. In the mid-1980s, the surrounding area was a rural paradise, home to several small, close-knit villages, whose existence was defined by the cyclical rhythms of farming and cattle herding. Life here was simple and hard-working, with families living in mud and thatch homes, their days dictated by the sun and the seasons. The lake itself, a shimmering expanse of deep blue, was a picturesque feature of the landscape, its beauty belying the profound geological forces that had created it, and the hidden silent danger it concealed. For generations, the people living on the slopes of the volcanic cone and in the valleys below had coexisted peacefully with the serene waters, never suspecting that the very heart of their community was a time bomb, a natural pressure cooker that was slowly, imperceptibly filling with a deadly gas. They were a people connected to their land, but utterly disconnected from the complex and dangerous forces at work beneath their feet. The night of August 21st, 1986, began like any other, a peaceful, quiet evening settling over the valleys. Families slept soundly in their beds, their homes' doors and windows closed to the cool night air, unaware that a geological event of catastrophic proportions was reaching its breaking point beneath the placid waters of Lake Nyos. Sometime after 9 p.m., without any discernible trigger to the human senses, no seismic tremors, no volcanic rumblings, no violent splash, a catastrophic event unfolded deep within the lake's watery abyss. An immense volume of carbon dioxide (CO2), which had been slowly seeping into the lake from a magma chamber far below, and dissolving in its cold, high-pressure bottom layers, suddenly and violently erupted from the water. Imagine uncorking a giant, highly pressurized soda bottle, but instead of a harmless fizzy spray, an enormous, dense and invisible cloud of deadly gas surged upwards from the lake's surface with explosive force, propelled by the sudden release of pressure. It was a silent, monstrous burp from the earth itself, a one-time event of immense power that would change the destiny of the valleys below forever. This massive cloud of nearly pure carbon dioxide, heavier than the surrounding air, acted as a silent, suffocating liquid. As it spilled over the lip of the volcanic crater, it flowed with the speed and purpose of a river down the surrounding slopes and valleys, seeking the lowest points in the landscape, and blanketing them in a deadly, invisible blanket. CO2 works by displacing oxygen, and as this invisible cloud settled over the sleeping villages and farmland, it extinguished the very air people breathed. Victims died quickly, and without struggle. Many perished in their beds, their bodies showing no signs of an agonizing fight for life. The sheer scale and speed of the disaster were unprecedented, and utterly baffling to the few who survived, as a person could walk just a few feet uphill from the deadly cloud, and breathe perfectly normal air. The morning after, the area around Lake Nyos was a scene of unimaginable devastation. Bodies lay as if frozen in time, homes were untouched, but every living thing, humans, livestock, insects, birds, had been extinguished on a massive scale, as if by an unseen hand. The silence was deafening, the stillness, a macabre testament to the immense power of the invisible killer. The first responders who arrived at the scene were met with a silence that spoke louder than any scream. They found no rubble, no fire, no signs of a struggle, just stillness. The air was heavy and still, a quiet that was both eerie and profound. The scale of the tragedy was overwhelming. Entire families had perished, their lives cut short without warning. Livestock lay dead in the fields and barns, their bodies bloated and still. Birds had fallen from the sky, their wings forever silent. It was as if an unseen scythe had swept through the region, leaving behind a macabre tableau. The few survivors, many of whom had been away from the immediate area, were left to grapple with a loss so profound and inexplicable that it defied comprehension. They returned to find their homes and communities wiped out, their loved ones lying where they had last seen them, but now cold and lifeless. The mystery of how this could have happened, what unseen force could have wrought such destruction without a visible trace, added a layer of profound terror to the grief. The immediate aftermath of the Lake Nyos disaster sparked a global scientific investigation to understand what had happened. Initially, theories ranged from a small localized volcanic eruption to a secret chemical weapons test gone wrong. The absence of traditional geological signs, however, baffled experts. It was not until scientists from around the world converged on the site that they pieced together the puzzle, identifying the culprit as a limnic eruption, a rare and poorly understood phenomenon, where a deep lake saturated with dissolved gas suddenly releases a massive catastrophic cloud. In the case of Lake Nyos, the CO2 had been seeping from a magma chamber far beneath the lake's bottom for centuries, held in a supersaturated state by the immense pressure of the deep water. The exact trigger for the release is still debated, but it could have been as small as a minor landslide on the lake floor, or a pocket of colder water sinking to the bottom, pushing the supersaturated water layer to the surface, and causing the violent outgassing. It was a scientific concept so obscure, so rare, that it had only been theorized, never before witnessed with such devastating consequences. The Lake Nyos disaster was a sobering and stark reminder of the hidden dangers that can exist within seemingly peaceful natural environments. In the years following the eruption, a global effort was launched to understand and mitigate the risks at Lake Nyos and other similar exploding lakes around the world, most notably Lake Nyos Kivu in Africa. An ingenious system of degassing pipes was designed and installed at Lake Nyos, a large metal pipe that descends to the lake's bottom, bringing the CO2-rich water to the surface where the gas is safely released into the atmosphere in a controlled manner. This process, known as limnic degassing, is a testament to human ingenuity in the face of nature's most bizarre and deadly forces. The surrounding communities have slowly begun to rebuild their lives, forever marked by the tragedy, but also demonstrating incredible resilience. The story of Lake Nyos is a powerful testament to the power of nature, the fragility of life, and the importance of seeking to understand the hidden forces that shape our world, ensuring that such a silent, invisible killer never strikes again with such devastating force. The lake now slowly exhales its breath, a controlled and steady sigh, a permanent monument to a day when a peaceful lake became a weapon of mass destruction.